Good morning. I have my harvest basket out here with me. Wow, look at that. Look how much this climbing rose, this sweet Laguna, has grown. She's doing so well on this tower. Very pleased with that. But I'm out here with my harvest basket. I was out earlier this morning collecting some spinach and spring onions for my morning omelette, and I noticed that we had quite a number, I say a number, I think we've got maybe 3 or 4 of the cucumbers that are ripe and ready for harvest. So I thought I would come out, harvest those cucumbers, and I also want to go down to the cut flower garden. There are a few new blooms and a few, I think maybe 3 weeks ago, we did 2 little sort of posy arrangements on the kitchen patio where the rocking chairs are, and those arrangements have lasted so incredibly well. So I kind of just want to give them a bit of a freshen up, I think. I did also just want to very quickly show you how incredible this hydrangea is still doing. Look, how gorgeous is that flower? It's really like this beautiful sort of white and then pale pink and purple. Stunning. I feel like this has almost been maybe a month and a half now. And the white crepe myrtle is fully starting to open up now. You can see she's got all of the little buds there, and we've got a number of the beautiful white pom-pom flowers opened up. Aren't they exceptional? They're so wonderful, and they're very long-lived flowers, so she will be in bloom like this now for months. The bees love it, particularly, I've got the Australian native beehive in my garden here, and particularly my little native bees seem to really like the crepe myrtle flowers. Early in the morning they are out here, all a twitter amongst the all the buzz all the buzz amongst the beautiful little white flowers that she has. Must be really good pollen, I guess. But let's head over to the kitchen garden area. It is wild and wonderful, let me tell you. The weather has been a little bit unpredictable lately, so we've been sort of getting just random sort of storms, and then beautiful days, and then storms again, and everything's been a little bit wild. And then obviously with Christmas and New Year and family travel and bits and bobs, I've not really had a chance to get fully stuck into the garden. I know we started doing some planting last week, and we shall continue with that in the coming weeks, but yeah, it's just slow going at this time of year, which is lovely. Can you see the little, I don't know if they're actually ladybugs or if they are the ones that kind of eat the leaves here. I'm not great with my insect knowledge. But there are quite a few on here, and they're always so hard to see. Can you see in here? We've got, can you see it there? That one there ready to go, and there's another one just in the back there. So I'm going to harvest those and probably have a little hunt around and see if there are any more on this one. And then the other cucumber plant over here also has a really large one on it. So I will be enjoying cucumbers for the next couple of weeks, I think. This was the first time that I planted my cucumbers sort of going up the kitchen garden structure, and it has been incredible. They have loved it so much. This is the best they have ever done. Normally at this time of year, they're just burnt, they're unhappy. I'm getting no cucumbers, so I'm thrilled to bits that I'm still getting cucumbers and I still have cucumber plants at this time of the year. So I'm going to just pop you down and harvest those ones, and then we'll head over to the other one and harvest, and then we will make our way just down through here into the orchard to the cut flower garden, and we'll harvest a few beautiful blooms. So I've harvested one, and then in doing so obviously had to move the leaves around, and I have found two hidden ones. There's one there and there's one at the back there. Always so hard to see. It's like quite the... Oh, there's another at the back. That's 3 hidden ones. It is quite the cucumber hunt when you go in here trying to find them. As I said, these plants are, I've never had them grow this well. I'm hoping it's a combination of the location and my increased fertilization. It's not something that I've ever been really good, like, disciplined with regularly fertilizing, but I have been very disciplined every fortnight fertilizing, and then I've sort of been alternating that in between with like chicken manure and that. So I'm hoping that that is just done the trick, and that is why they are so happy. But I'm so excited to have so many. Well, I'm going to keep hunting around and we'll see how many I can get off of this one plant. So I'm still on my cucumber hunt, and I've just spotted one. Can you see it there? Just hidden right at the back here. So I'm going to harvest that one. Also, my pineapple is still doing really well. Oh, I'm so excited about that. And then I can see we've already got like new ones starting. There was one, can you see that one there? I was gonna harvest that, but I think I might leave it on for another sort of day or so just to get a little bit bigger. And given I have quite the loot already, I definitely don't need it right now, but that one is definitely ready to go. So I'm gonna harvest that, and then let's move to the next plant. So I managed to get 5 cucumbers off of the one plant, and given that I only thought I had 2 on there, that is quite the loot. And as I showed you, I've got a few more coming through, so it won't be long before there's more. The longevity spinach is growing wild in there with the rosemary, but it is also super happy, and I have been eating it every day. Onions are also doing really well. I need to get out here and do some weeding. Tomatoes are actually still going strong. I probably need to... I'm just not sure if the salvia, which is what the purple flowers are, is actually giving protection and attracting the plants or deterring the pests from the plants. Because they've just done, I mean, it is wild and wonderful out here, but everything has just been growing so well. And just the pests don't seem to have been as bad. I mean, I'm definitely still getting pests, but they don't seem to be as bad this year as they have been in previous. And then somehow I'm going to try and climb in here, because I don't know if I'm going to have to get, oh, hold on. They like to hide cucumbers, and there is one. If I zoom in, can you see him there at the back? Right there. So I kind of need to get in there and get that. Wish me luck. Alright, so I basically just climbed in there into the garden bed, and I managed to get 3. I've got the one good one sort of in there. These ones here are probably a little bit too big now, particularly this sort of yellowing one. That one's probably gone over. This one here might be okay. Might still be quite tasty. So considering I only thought I had 3 cucumbers, I managed to harvest 7. So very, very happy with my little collection, my little harvest there. I'll probably have to gift some of these. I'll definitely store some of them and they'll last me a couple of weeks, but I might have to gift some of these to people as well. So down in the orchard, and I'm very pleased to report that this is now the dwarf Mayan lemon, and look how happy it is. Finally, that took months for that to bounce back. Goodness me, but looking so happy now. So I might just have a little wander down towards the berries and see if we've got any blueberries coming through. But look at all the flowers. Isn't that so gorgeous? So I'm gonna get a few of the little flowers. We might just freshen up the arrangement on the kitchen patio side. Gosh, the colours on these flowers are so vibrant. Can you see those red ones in there? These flowers have been the gift that keeps on giving. And they have just gone wild in here. But they have brought me so much joy. Definitely need to think of a better kind of trellising or fencing situation. Just to keep them a little bit more contained, I think. But really, really happy with the cut flower garden space and being able to come down here and kind of just harvest my very own cut flowers. There's some that have worked really well, some who haven't worked very well at all. And I also need to work on the order of my planting. So I don't know if it comes across, can't really see them, but in the very back there, there are actually some really gorgeous white flowers. I don't know if you can kind of see them just a little bit through the leaves. And I cannot get to them, unfortunately, given how wild and whimsical this has all sort of become. So I definitely need to work on that for next season with the cut flowers, really just making sure that I am ordering them in the right way and kind of making sure that I can access, even if I kind of did it sort of like long ones on one side and then shorter ones on this side or something. Anyway, that is something to think about for next season. But I'm just going to kind of go through and just cut a few of these gorgeous blooms, and then we will update the bud vases on the patio in the rocking chair space. So these are my sort of fresh flowers. Gosh, the colours, they're so vibrant. So let's head on up. We'll take the cucumbers inside and then we'll arrange these flowers. I'll remove any of the spent flowers and we'll see how it looks. And just before we head inside, I thought I'd just give you a quick update on the little sort of garden area that we planted up last week. It is actually looking really nice, and I'll just put my basket down. Can you see in the middle there? The flowers have started in the grass. Can you kind of, hold on, let me zoom in a bit. See them? Gorgeous, pretty little pink sort of flowers, pinky purple flowers. So hopefully this area will fill in nicely in the coming months. So these are the flowers from about, I would say 2 to 3 weeks ago now. They've held up so well, and I'd say like this one and this one looks fine. It's probably just this one that needs to come out, and then similarly over here, it's maybe just these two that need to come out, and then I can kind of just top them up with this. I've also just put out a little jug of fresh water just to top up the bud vases. So I'm going to get to that. So bud vases have been updated. Very, very happy with that. So simple and easy, but it really does add something truly just delightful to this space. I can see it from the kitchen, and I do kind of spend a fair bit of time in the kitchen, so really pleased. I would obviously bring these inside and do an arrangement on the kitchen island, but at the moment the poinsettia is still doing really well from Christmas, so I don't want to retire that just yet while it's still looking spectacular. But once that kind of goes over, then yes, if we're still getting cut flowers, I'll start to bring these inside, but I just didn't want to waste them. And this is such a pretty spot. And as I said, I can kind of see it from inside. So that is looking good, very happy. Now, I actually have a few quite lovely errands to run. There are a number of sales on at the moment, as I'm sure it is the same where you are. And there's a few things that I just need to get. I need new sheets, that kind of thing. And there's also been a few things on my list for a little while. So I would like to pop out, head to a few sort of more homeware stores. So basically none of this is really clothing. It's just a few homeware bits and pieces. And I know how much I love looking, watching on YouTube when other people get new homeware. I love that. I love seeing what other people have and what they're getting and how they're styling it and the inspo and things. So I thought we would do that together. I'm going to bring Mum along with us because she also needs to get new sheets, and she is in the market for a new bedspread for her bed. So yeah, I'm going to go kind of freshen up a little bit, grab my bag, and we're going to head off. Pillow talk. I actually need some new sheets, which is kind of the purpose of what we've come here for, is sheets and provincial furniture. So we're going to hit Pillow Talk and hope that they've got the sheets that I want in stock in store, because they are on sale at the moment. And here we are at Pillow Talk. So these are the sheets that I was looking at. I really liked this dark green colour. I've not had this brand before, but hopefully it might be nice and sort of just nice, natural, breathable sort of cotton, bamboo cotton fibre, but they're just going to see if they've got the right size for me in store. All right, I have found it. So there's this one here that's this gorgeous like forest emerald green, but I have also found this one, which is very similar, but it's not a bamboo cotton, it's just an Australian cotton. I don't mind that green either. One's just a bit of a richer green. The sort of Australian cotton one's a bit more of a muddier green. Oh, I don't know what to do. Alright, I'm going to go for the dark green in the sheets, and I'm loving these tissue box covers for in the bathroom. Oh, I don't know which one, maybe the more natural one to go with like the soap dispenser. Alright, we have now come into provincial furniture. A few videos back, I think I showed you, we came in here in a different location and I looked at the cookbook stands. Well, I've come back in and I'm going to buy it. They've gone on sale and I've been thinking about it since I saw them. So I'm popping back in to purchase them. She's just popped it up at the counter and is just wrapping it for me. But I thought I'd have a little wander and see what else they've got. They've got a massive sale on. I think everything, yeah, here we go. Almost everything's 20 to 50% off. I love some of their like couches and stuff.
It does look like it.
Rightio, cookbook stand, which I will be using just as a sort of illustrated book stand, secured. Heading back to the car now, and then once I get home, I'll kind of show you the bits and pieces that I got. I know. So before we head home, we've actually just come to the DFO that's quite close by. So we call it DFO here. I think a lot of other places we call it like an outlet shopping centre. So there we've just been through Ralph Lauren. We went into, where else did we go into? Coach, we went into Kate Spade, and we went into, Oroton, and had a little look around in there. And there's a few bags that I had put on hold at Oroton, but it is pandemonium here with all the sales on. And so we might actually just have a little wander into Peter Alexander for sleepwear and see what they've got in there. Okay, Peter Alexander was absolutely wild. It was just so busy. I couldn't film anything in there. It was jam-packed. They almost had to close the store though with that many people. But I did pick up just a night dress, sort of night shirt thing. I will show you all when I get home. And we're sort of just making our way around. Mum and I are both absolutely just so thirsty. I'm starting to get like a dehydration headache. So we're just going to walk down this next aisle and hope that we can see, oh, there's water in Candyland. Do we go into, just get a bottle of water?
Yeah, I can't have water. I'll have to
But there might be soft drink in there, like lemonade or something. All right, well, I'm going to quickly pop into Candyland and get some water and just like a soft drink or something like that for Mum. So we are Revived Hydration Station, and we're just going to head down. Yeah, we're just going to head down to Bed Bath and Table in here and just see what they have. Mum has her eye. Oh, there's an entry here. Mum has her eye on like a coverlet for her bed, and there was one we saw earlier in the Bed Bath and Table. Was it Pillow Talk? Or was it Bed Bath? I wonder if we've got a Pillow Talk here. Anyway, Mum has her eye on coverlets, so we're just going to have a little wander around here. How cool are those picnic baskets, by the way? What? The outdoor? Yeah. They are very nice. Like the we just can't get her anything now. Okay, we had success in Bed and Bath. Weighs an absolute ton, but we're kind of making our way out now. Maybe just a few other little stores to look at. Oh, and we need to go back to Oroton. I will show you the handbags that I'm going to get, and then I will show you everything kind of laid out nicely when we get home, so you can have a little look and see what I picked up. So I'm now home, and this is the little sort of haul of bits and pieces that I picked up, and I thought we would just quickly go through them. I won't spend a lot of time on it, but just to kind of show you what I got, because it was pandemonium out there and I couldn't sort of film a lot. But I picked up at Peter Alexander these cotton pajamas. It's just almost like a Christmas kind of check, and they've got the little green satin, it just says Peter Alexander on the sort of collar and the cuffs, and it's just a really pretty sort of white, green and red check, tartan, whatever you would call that. But yeah, very happy with that. Just 100% cotton, really, really soft cotton. I've got a sort of a more of a ready one of these that I've had for a couple of years, and I love it. So it was kind of a no-brainer to get a new one of these in the sale. I think I paid like $49 or something for it. But yeah, very happy with that. And then I think I brought you into Pillow Talk with me. Then one of the things that I got, if I can do this one-handed, is new sheets. So I did bring you in with me. And they're basically just a bamboo, there we go. They're just a sheet set. They're a 400 thread count bamboo cotton. I do like a cotton sheet. And the bamboo cotton is quite nice. It's almost silky sort of feeling, but it's a nice natural fiber. And I got this really gorgeous forest sort of muddy green color, which I like, the dark green color. I've never had sheets this color. So we're gonna see how they go. And then I might have to stand up for this one. We went to Bed Bath and Table, and I got, this is the receipt, a quilt cover set, and it's a Morris & Co, like William Morris designs, and it's the Strawberry Thief design, which I actually think is really beautiful with the strawberries and all the little birds. I think it was almost like 40 or 60% off. The discount on it was crazy. But I'm just not sure. I've always had plain quilt covers. And so this is obviously very patterned. And so I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about this. So I think I've got the receipt. I'm going to keep the receipt. And I might just kind of drape it over my bed and see how I get on with it, whether I think it's too busy or not. So that is that. That will be a winter quilt cover. So in winter I use an actual quilt, and obviously you fit the quilt inside the quilt cover. But in summer, because we don't get, obviously, we get quite warm weather here, I have just like a coverlet or a bedspread, whatever you'd like to call it, over my bed. And then lastly, I needed to get some new silk pillowcases. I have told you before, I sleep on silk pillowcases. They're just so much better for your hair and my skin. I found they make a massive difference. So I got these 100% mulberry silk Morgan & Finch pillowcases. And again, I normally go for a plain one, but they had these patterns, this really gorgeous sort of floral pattern with the black background, which I thought was so beautiful. And I've got kind of black charcoal sheets, and I think that these would go so well to add sort of a bit of a pop of brightness to that sheet set. But they feel so nice. I love silk pillowcases. But how pretty is that? With all the little flowers on it. And then I did sort of show you, I went into Provincial Home Living or Provincial Furniture, I'm not sure now. And I have been eyeing this book stand for quite some time, and they finally went on sale. And I got the black one. I thought it'd be really pretty for, you know, when you have a book and it's got gorgeous end pages on it, or like, you know, seasonal prints and things. I think it would be really nice to have it kind of like opened, and then these little weights obviously hold the pages down, and then I can kind of display that in my library bookshelves. It was on sale, I think, for like $32. I'm pretty sure I paid for it, but very happy with that. They came in white, gold, and the black, but because my library shelves are white, I got the black one. Not that you'll necessarily see a lot of it because you'll have like the book along the front, sort of opened up, but I thought that was really pretty and something I've actually been looking for a little while. Also from Pillow Talk, picked up another dish drying mat. So if I pan up, ignore the dishes there. But I have one of those wire drying, like dish racks, and then underneath I put like a really pretty drying mat. So this one's the one from Pillow Talk, and it actually matches the oven mitts or the oven glove that we've got here. But it's just a really nice sort of summery daisy print. And you would have seen I've got a few of them. I often get them from Adairs as well. They sort of have like seasonal prints in. But I just think it's really nice to have something practical that is also really beautiful. And they're just like a microfiber and they're quite thick. But they absorb all the water and then they dry really quickly. So got that. And then what else did I get? Ah! I also got... This was a bit of a random purchase actually. I got a tissue box cover for the tissue box in my bathroom. At the moment, it's just like a Kleenex tissue box, which is not the nicest looking, but I thought that this was really nice. I don't know if it'll come across, but it's got the white sort of mother of pearl and then the green and sort of a grey blue kind of colour. But I think that that'll look really pretty and just add a little bit of colour, but I liked all the neutral tones as well. I don't have a heap of colour in my bathroom, but I think that's much nicer than the Kleenex tissue box. Got that. And then the last thing from Pillow Talk was a soap dispenser for in the laundry. At the moment, it's just the actual like dispenser that the soap came in, which is a little bit, well, it's just not very nice. And so I picked up this, and it's sort of got like a bit of a brushed brass top on it, and then it's this really nice stone finish. So I think that that'll look really nice in the laundry. Just quite understated. You definitely don't want anything really bright in there, but much nicer than the one that's currently there. And then the largest bag for last is the Oroton bag. I think I showed you a very quick glimpse when I was in line at the store to pick this up. It was absolutely packed in there. There was a line up to get in. They'd closed the store. It was, yeah, the sales were incredible. Oroton had 60% off store wide, and I would say Oroton, I believe, is an Australian brand, and they do leather goods. So they do like bags and wallets, they do travel essentials, backpacks, all sorts of bits and pieces. But, and I'd say pricing wise, they're probably more like entry-level luxury. So handbags are normally between sort of $500 and $1,000, I would say, depending on the size and which one that you want. So they had 60% off, which was incredible store-wide. And as you can see, I did pick up a few things. A couple of handbags, as well as a few other little sort of random things. So I might just... It'll be easy for me to... Alright, first thing was a bit of a random purchase. I got a, I mean, I guess I would call it like a pashmina. It's, the bag's blocking the sun. It's this really soft, gorgeous fabric. It's black, but in certain lights, this side's the darker side, and you can see just really faintly, like really understated Oroton sort of logo, and then this side has got more of like the brown pattern on it. I just thought this was so nice with like the little frayed edges. It is unbelievably soft, and to use it, yeah, just like a little pashmina kind of over my shoulders or as a scarf, you know, when you're going out somewhere. You know, recently we went to the ballet. This would have been really nice to have had, just in case it got a little bit chilly, to sort of just have around your shoulders and that. And black will just go with pretty much most of my wardrobe. I tend to do a lot of dark colors, but I thought that was so nice. And I actually don't have anything like, I mean, I've got scarves, like winter scarves, but I don't have anything really lightweight like this. So that was beautiful. Right, so they just come in their nice little dust bags, which I know a lot of people use for when you're traveling, like shoe bags. And then this was the first one that I got. It is black leather, and then it's got the tan kind of trim along the top, around the edges, and the handles are tan. I just thought that was going to be an incredible kind of all-round winter bag. It's really smart. Oroton, like the quality of leather at Oroton is really lovely. It's great craftsmanship. It is going to last a really long time. They've got the gold toned hardware, which I like because I wear gold. Okay, now it is all unpacked. You can see it's got the really pretty little gold feet, and I love this contrast stitching here with the lighter white stitching. And you can get a really nice tone now for the tan leather. That is going to go with all of my tan shoes. And then on the sides, they've got these very nice, I really loved the gold hardware, and I liked the little kind of buckling detail. I just thought this was such a beautiful, nice quality leather handbag, very practical for every day. It's something that I could take to work with me in the office. It'll go with everything. Tan shoes, like honestly, I tend to stick with either black or tan or metallic-y kind of shoes. So this will go with all of my shoes. It's quite a nice size. You're not going to be able to see much inside, but it is quite a nice size in there. We've got a little side pocket you can just make out there. And yeah, really just so soft. The leather is absolutely beautiful. So very happy with that purchase. And then the last handbag is in here. The last one and the biggest one. I might actually just unpack this really quickly and then show it to you just so you can't see me struggling with all the packaging. All right, last but not least, this was the other handbag that I purchased. I think that this is absolutely gorgeous. The branding is so understated. You really only get it in certain light. And it's that beautiful tan leather. I think the color they call it is cognac. And it's got obviously this little panel at the front, but then all of the trim is in that. The bottom is also just nice and hard wearing with the little gold feet and the tanned leather at the bottom. I love this kind of basket weave. Oh, okay, there we go. I love this basket weave, and what's also nice is that they've lined it so that it's not see-through. It is so practical. The size is incredible. Look, I wish I was somebody who could have a small handbag. I'm just not. I take a lot of stuff with me and I just need to be practical, and I'm not carrying 2 bags with me everywhere I go. So I do have reasonable sized handbags, but it's a nice zipper closure. I think the handles are really gorgeous as well. They are adjustable, as you can see. The inside, it's lined with almost a type of canvas lining, and it's got this incredible pocket on the side. So if I'm ever sort of traveling with my laptop or my iPad, that can go there. It's got a side pocket, and it is massive inside. I will be able to fit many things in there. Just a really practical, stunning handbag for summer. And again, 60% off. The quality is just, I mean, as I said to Mum, you know, you just get what you pay for things, and 60% off was absolutely wild. This was an absolute steal. I cannot remember how much I paid for it. I think it might have come down to like $250 or something like that, with the 60% off. This was the large. If you're going on the Oroton website, you'll see there's 2 sizes. There was a small kind of mini size, and this was the large. As I've just said, I don't do a mini handbag. I just can't fit everything in it. By the time I sort of, you know, you pop your wallet and your phone and all the other kind of bits and bobs that you take with you. But yes, over the moon with this purchase. It was definitely, I had intended, I'd looked on the website before we went to the DFO, and there were a few items that I wanted to look at. But so pleased they still had this. So now I just have my big mess of bits and pieces, and I'm just going to start going through and putting everything away. So I hope you have enjoyed spending the time with me.